I have a conundrum about the game Cairn. I don't know whether to be frustrated with it to the point I want to rage quit, or be challenged by it to try to be able to climb the summit. I know my thoughts on regards to accessibility, so we'll get to that. But I'm so confused. I don't know whether I like it or love it or hate it at the same time. Maybe all three. I don't know. Let's talk about it. I'm Steve Saylor. I'm blind, and I'm also an accessibility consultant and content creator. If you're wondering how I can play video games or what I can see when I play video games if I'm blind, take a look at the video here or link in the description down below. So, this game Cairn, again, I am honestly actually speechless of what I can actually say or talk about this game. Not because it's very story heavy or like it's going to be spoilers if I mention anything. It literally is the one game that I really tried to write my notes down, tried to script out how I can be able to talk about this game in this review. But in the end, I still don't have a conclusion of what I think about the game. Accessibility wise, I can give a rating for that. That's not a problem. But I don't know whether I'm learning the wrong lesson about this game, or I'm just still figuring out something about myself. So let's start off with, this is a game called Cairn that you play a character named Ava, and as like you don't know anything about her at first. You are immediately put into like as training mode, and basically you are trying to climb the summit of Mount Kami. No one has been able to do it before. No one has ever stood on the summit of Mount Kami before, and you are trying to be the first one. You are very experienced and very famous mountain climber. So you have apparently the expertise and the experience and the talent to climb a mountain, but you as a player don't. But I think the only way for me to be able to talk about this game is not show you early gameplay, but show you this one section of the game to kind of show how frustrating and challenging this game is, but also showcasing the accessibility. There's this one section for me, it was about 10 hours in, where you are having to climb this very steep wall. I'm talking like a massive cliff wall, to the point where normally in this game, there are places you can be able to climb up to that kind of you can stand on, and you can even take a break so you can be able to eat some food or get some rest to kind of help you with your energy or your health, blah, 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 all that stuff. Normally, that's how this game has been presented. It's that, okay, if you find a spot, you can climb up to it, you can rest, and then you can continue on again. This section, there is none of that. You're climbing until you can reach the top of this cliff. You could maybe try to find a spot to be able to go around it, but it would take you a while to be able to climb to it. And if you can't find it, you then have to climb all the way back. The game does not allow you to send you fast travel back to where you were unless you had load up a previous save. I did not know how long this climb was going to take me. It took me 2 hours just to climb this wall, and several days worth within the game itself. And the only way I was able to climb it was because of the game's assist modes. Now, before I get into the more of that, you're having to control your Ava by controlling each individual arm and leg at different points. It's kind of like the game QWOP, if you ever played that Flash game back in the day, where essentially you are having to individually control every limb of the person, but it's a little bit more forgiving than QWOP. But even still, it's still frustrating. This game can be frustrating at times. And you have to basically control your left arm, your right arm, your left leg, your right leg, to be able to find spots on this rock face or this mountain to basically pull yourself up this summit. And you have all the mountain climbing tools that you pretty much have at your disposal. You have pittance, so you can be able to drill into the wall so you can be able to rest or recover your stamina, or just make sure that you don't fall all the way down to your death. And you also have chalk that you can be able to give your hands a little bit more of a grip. You have water to be able to keep you hydrated. You have food in your backpack to be able to keep you not hungry. You also have a health meter. Like, you have all the things essentially that a climber would need to be able to climb a mountain. But the game doesn't really teach you a lot of that. And you kind of have to figure it out for yourself. Now, I can go in a tangent about that, and I think this is probably a good way to transition into talking about the accessibility of this game. So I'm going to show you the settings of the game here that I think is worth kind of talking about, because there is some decent accessibility in this. So you have the ability to be able to turn on and off the HUD, with make it a little bit more immersive, or always display. You can select manual limb selection, which basically what that does is because, like I said, you have to move each individual limb. The game kind of automatically chooses the limb for you to be able to, like, what it should be moved next, because there are times where you'll slip on a rock that basically it has to put your foot back to a spot where you have to refine another foothold or handhold again. Whereas manual limb selection, you can be able to say, okay, no, I only want to move my right arm, and you can be able to select it via either stick, face button, or dial. It gives you a lot of options to be able to choose which one, but you have to hold down RB in order to be able to do it, or right shoulder button. It's a good, I love that you can turn it on and off, and you can have multiple different ways to interact with it, but I kept it off because I was fine with it choosing automatically for me. Then there is also, you can skip quick reaction mini games, which I definitely did, because quick time events, big no-no for me. But then they also have these assist modes, and you have to start a game in order to be able to do it, to be able to get access to it. You can't start with assist mode right off the hop. So make sure to remember, if you're going to use these assist modes, make sure to start the game and then go into settings to change it. So you have fall rewind, which is honestly the only way I've been able to get through this game so far. It allows you to, because there's definitely many times that you will fall, but fall rewind what it will do is that once you start falling, you can be able to push a button, which on the controller it's L3, to be able to bring up a sort of little mini timeline that will let you can rewind back to be able to find a spot where you won't fall again. I did wish that that you had the ability to be able to change the colors of it, because it does give you a color indicator of how steady or how dangerous you're where you are, whether it go from a green to a red color base. So I wish there was colorblind options to be able to change that, but there isn't. So you just have to kind of rewind back and forth to try to find a spot that you can go back to. But it is a great way so you don't fall and hurt yourself or fall to your death every single time and then having to start back from your previous save. Chat, I fell 393 times and had at least, if I remember correctly, 2 deaths in this game. That's right. I fell almost 400 times, and if it wasn't for fall rewind, I would not even been close to where I'm at. Then they have some other assist mode options that I can briefly talk about. They have infinite climbing gears and resources, so it gives you infinite chalk, infinite pittance, which you only start with a limited amount, and you can basically find some as you go and find more, and basically create more chalk by disposing of garbage, which is great, but I kept it, you can turn that on or off. I found actually that the game was pretty forgiving with that, but you can have that turn on or off if you need to. And then there is also auto saving. Whenever you stand on any flat surface, that it will automatically save that spot for you. Otherwise, you have to find these save points throughout your climb, which I find are very few and far between. So I recommend having this setting like also turned on. And then the other option that they have is no survival. Now, this is also something that I've been struggling with turning both on and off throughout the entire game. You have to control your hunger, your thirst, your temperature, and your health. And you only have limited amount of resources to be able to give yourself to be able to build up those meters. Otherwise, you will the game will go blurry and you start to black out. And if you don't have anything in your backpack to be able to help you, you're screwed unless you reload a previous save, because There are times there is no food. There are times there is no water for a while. There are times it's at night and it's cold and you don't have anything thermal to be able to keep you warm. So you have to rely on resources that you make at your camp or you have in your backpack at any given point in order to be able to survive. So I struggled with this throughout the entire time because I thought, okay, the game has to be a little bit forgiving at some point, right? And it's not. So the two settings I had for assist mode that I turned on pretty much was fall rewind, auto saving, and no survival. So here's the thing, you can hear the frustration in my voice, right, about this game. And I know it's challenging, and I know that we're basically that part of like the enjoyment of certain video games that are being made today, that the enjoyment is the challenge. The enjoyment is I don't even say difficulty because it's not really difficulty. The joy is the challenge of climbing to the next cliff, to climbing to the next section, climbing forward to the summit, as it were. But I don't know if I can. But it's a game I still want to be able to keep playing. So, but I'm also at a point where I'm ready to stop. And I think that the best way to kind of describe my feelings of it, but also my enjoyment of it, is there's a quote that literally after this section, in a cutscene, Ava is talking to somebody who's also climbing the summit, and she says, "There's always time in the climb
when you're plagued by doubt. But as soon as you get over it, the motivation returns, and you're left filled with rage
to get to the top." I definitely have enough rage, but I have no clue if I'm ever going to make it to the top. Accessibility there or otherwise. So for accessibility, I'm going to give this game a 3 out of 5. It's pretty decent, but it definitely is not going to be for the faint of heart. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to ever complete this game. I don't even know if I'm ever going to go back to it. But it's the only game I've liked that I'm so frustrated with. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Screw it. I don't know. Go check it out for yourself. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did I miss the entire point of this game? Are you going to try it? Are you going to play it? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get more of my videos. I try to produce a new video or new review every single week. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I'm probably going to go play some more Cairn. Gosh darn it.